So, Team USA's near miracle run to the gold has come up short. They have lost to a Spain team who, in fairness, a Spain team who they beat earlier, who they started by beating them and got off to a winning start. But unfortunately, they are now in a scenario where, they're not going to be winning gold. Could they get bronze? Yes. That is an important one. Getting bronze, look, I know it's an American attitude of if you're not first, you're last. But if you know anything about sports, getting an Olympic medal is the pinnacle of sports. Getting an Olympic medal is the pinnacle of sports. Gold, silver, bronze, at the end of the day, getting an Olympic medal is the pinnacle of sports. If you are, for people, especially when you're focused on American-centric team sports, you may not realize that importance. But for 95% of the world in sports, they would take an Olympic bronze medal over an NBA championship any day. Heck, I would think even say if you were like a Luka Doncic, you would take an Olympic bronze over an NBA championship. So for these players, if they can go and get their bronze, fair play to them. But this doesn't make sense. Congratulations, go for bronze. And the thing is, with the way this team started off, getting bronze is good. People are going to be like, oh no, if you're not first, you're last, I should be walking it. Why? The men's team didn't even make it out of the pool. So, I'm sorry. USA are not that good at 3-on-3 basketball. And everyone being like, oh, you should. I saw a video of Michael Beasley in the Big Three, and they were like, why didn't we send this guy out? Dude, those Big Three guys, in FIBA 3-on-3 rules, you need to be in better shape than to play 5v5. You do. You need to be in incredible shape. Michael Beasley and those guys would get cooked. They would get cooked. They would miss a shot and suddenly the ball's gone and the other team has a layup. They would be exhausted after 2 minutes. Everyone would be like, oh, they need to send these 45-year-old NBA players. They would be exhausted. It's a different game. Different type of fitness. It is a completely different type of fitness, which is why, obviously, they brought the players they did. But I do have to give credit where credit's due to this team. And, look, there's nothing I prefer than watching USA lose in basketball. I love it. As somebody who will always support the underdog and isn't necessarily a big fan of the arrogance Americans have towards the sport of basketball, I love watching America lose. But I got to give props to this team. When you go to go down 0-3 and then put yourself into a position to get a medal, especially when you have stuff like this, you also have the added pressure of people complaining that they didn't send Caitlin Clark when Caitlin Clark was ineligible. So I have to say, Hamby got better. Ryan Howard got better. Van Lith, I thought Van Lith played decent throughout this. I do think early on they did expose Hailey Van Lith. As good as she was on offense, they were exposing her defense. But in general, I think she'd been pretty good. And I think overall, this Team USA has been pretty good. I don't think winning gold, even though they were odds-on favorite to win gold, I think that's just people that don't really know what they're doing making the betting odds. And a lot of people realizing that people will bet on America anyway. If America are evens, people are going to be like, well, obviously America are going to win. Even though their coach said before the Olympics, they're like, we are not the favorites to win this. And they almost lost to their kids. I know they won the World Championships, but just you could argue that USA sent out a weaker team for the Olympics. And even though they sent out 2 WNBA All-Stars, you could argue that as far as just fit, as far as what they brought to the team, Ryan Howard took too many shots, and Hamby, as great as Hamby's been this season, you caught Hamby as she's been playing a little bit worse, and then without as much 3-on-3 experience as even Alexi Hull. So it is, if you're someone, again, that doesn't know any better, you'd be very disappointed by this. You'd be very disappointed. You're like, why are they losing in 3-on-3? So I just want to see post engagements. Just looking at some of the nonsense. Even the men only had 3 players. How are the WNBA players going to be outplayed by Hailey Van Lith? Because Hailey Van Lith is a specialist. And that's the thing. Hailey Van Lith is a specialist. She's a 3-on-3 specialist. A generation cooking by Noah Lyles, world champions of what? Ironically, America are the world champions. Like, they lost the Olympics, but America are the world champions. What is this tweet about? What is this Noah Lyles tweet about? A generational cooking from Noah Lyles. They're the world champions. The Olympic champions and the world championships are different things. They are the world champions. Hailey Van Lith, Sierra Burdick, Cameron Brink, and... oh, I forgot her name. She's a guard. I forgot her name. They're the world champions. USA are the current world champions. So, what are people quoting the Noah Lyles thing for? And it's not even about the USA. Like, the one thing I will say is, like, I'm not going to argue against the whole world championship thing if the USA win the Olympics. But, like, calling yourself world champions if you're an Olympic champion, cool. I don't really care about that. But turns out it was 3-4 for USA. Yeah, apparently the refereeing was bad in this game, but look, go get to 21. Don't put yourself in a position to face Spain. And yeah, I do think, as far as I'm aware, the refereeing was horrendously bad in that game. But look, if they go and win bronze, it's been a success. When you start as badly as they have, it's been a success. And look, if you want to look at this team, other than like Hamby and Burdick, like Hailey Van Lith is never going to make a USA 5v5 basketball team. She's never going to make it to the Olympics in any other sport. But she could go and rattle off 2-3 golds in a row. Like she could, or sorry, not 2-3 golds. She could rattle off 2-3 medals in a row. And like if Van Lith ends up with 2 or 3 Olympic medals in her back pocket, a 2-year WNBA career and good overseas career, that's a hell of a career in basketball. Like Ryan Howard is going to be on a 5v5 team. She's probably going to make the next one. Hamby, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in 4 years' time whether it's going to be between like a Hamby, a Boston, and Angel Reese fighting for the same, probably like 2 spots. So it's going to be an interesting one. And then we don't know how the likes of Kiki or Yafin are going to come in, and heck, there's going to be someone we've never heard of probably that's going to be in the shout for that Olympic team. But yeah, so Team USA, you will be probably disappointed with that. But for me anyway, I think it's still impressive to get to the point. Like, I didn't think they were going to make it out of pool play. I didn't, especially when I watched them almost lose to France, who finished last. I watched them almost lose to a lot of not great teams. I was shocked they beat Canada. Like, Canada, I thought were better than them. So, the fact they've gone this far and they're in with a chance of a medal, fair play. Fair play. This isn't going to be a too negative video about them. And look, as someone who would love to criticize USA basketball any chance I get, this isn't going to be one of those times. They lost a game they probably should have won, and I wouldn't bet against them going to win the bronze. And if you do come out of the Olympics with a bronze medal, I know it's an American-centric thing to say if you're not first, you're last, but it's been a success. Trust me, it's been a success.